Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix, and you're listening to the week ahead video for April 24th, 2022. Real quick, on a personal note, for those of you that are in the ForexAnalytix community, if you are in the chat rooms, you may know and you may be aware I'm dealing with some personal issues the last 48 hours. I'm always pretty frank with you guys, especially when it comes to trading and what I'm doing. And to be completely frank with you right now, I don't feel like doing a video. I don't feel like doing a week ahead video, but I'm doing it because it's an important weekend. So make sure you stick around and stick around because I'm going to go through a lot of charts with you and talk about the importance of this weekend. But before I do that, let me just mention, if you haven't tried out ForexAnalytix, do so. It's only $1 for 10 days to try it out. Be in our community. It's, you actually know what personal issues I'm dealing with. But if you were in the chat rooms, but also it's a great community of traders. Also, if you want to take advantage of being in ForexAnalytix, you should check out the Trader Funding Program. With the Trader Funding Program, you can access live trading accounts, bigger trading accounts if you pass our assessment. So it's a one-time fee. Last week, we had so many people pass their assessments and access larger trading accounts. It was pretty cool. And you can see what the assessment fees are, and the accounts you can trade. So if you have limited capital, or let's just say limited access to capital, or you just you don't want to risk your own money, you just want to risk ours, well, take an assessment. And if you can do that, you can access these larger trading accounts, and then you keep 75% of the profits. Remember, you do have to pass the assessment. And like I said, we've had a lot of people actually pass this last week, which is cool. It's really cool to see, because you get ForexAnalytix as a for a certain period of time based on what account value you are trying to access. If you want more information, just scroll to the very bottom here and you can see a 2-minute video, and I give you an explanation of how that all works. Well, like I said, jump in, check it out. Also, just really quick, I also want to mention, guys, I didn't tell you that about myself, not because I'm looking for sympathy. I just want you to know if my tone sounds a little different. I don't sound super excited about about anything at the moment. That's the reason why. And like I said, for all of you that know me, I'm very upfront about the trades I'm in. I talk very frank with you about the markets, and that's what I intend to do today. It's an important weekend. The reason why we have a French election, and current French President Macron, he's out there talking about this as being, a type of Brexit type of situation, and to be, be frank, it really is. I mean, if Le Pen, if she wins, this could be that situation where, you start to see a fragmentation of the Eurozone. And a Macron win is further integration into the Eurozone, and that's going to have a very big influence on the euro dollar and the euro crosses and the Eurozone in general. So you have to think about the importance of this election. And if you read some of the bank analysts, they're going to tell you that it's a shoe-in. Macron has it, but in today's market and with today's society globally, I don't think you can rule out a Le Pen win, and that's why it's so vitally important to the markets this weekend. So be paying very close attention. Based on the research that I've done, it looks like polls close at 8 p.m. French time. I forget what the time zone is. It's the ES. It's local time. It's 8 o'clock, which will be 2 p.m. Eastern. So think about that, because depending on how the pollings work, we're going to be finding out how Macron is doing to Le Pen or vice versa as the FX markets open on Sunday. If you're watching this, you might be watching this on Sunday. That means you have to be paying very close attention to the results as the markets open, because it's going to determine whether the euro is going to open a lot higher or the euro is going to open a lot lower. And like I said, those ripples are going to be able to be fed into every account, every market as well. And as you saw on Friday, the S&P closed in a very, very negative fashion. So I want to take you through some of these euro crosses. I'm going to take you through the S&P. I'm actually going to talk about the Australian dollar and the CPI data that's coming out this week. We also have GDP data. We have PCE data in the U.S., which is it's one of the Fed's more closely followed inflation data that comes out, and that's going to be out this Friday coming up. So there's a lot of things that are happening this weekend, so just bear with me. And like I said, if my tone sounds a little bit different, maybe not as normally upbeat as I always am, you guys know the reason why. Okay, all right. And like I said, I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just telling you that so you can deal with it. All right, so let's first and foremost, let's talk about the euro. The euro is at such an important crossroads. If you look at, I'm just going to pull up a monthly chart in the euro, you can see how vitally important this support is. And this is from the creation of the Eurozone. If you think about the euro when it was launched or released, we're talking about right around 2000. I mean, the euro is really flirting with major support levels. Okay, that's on a monthly chart, and you can see on a daily chart, we are just flirting with that breakdown point. Now, a Macron win is going to put a bid in euro, and obviously a loss for Macron and a Le Pen win is going to put substantial pressure on the euro, and a lot of banks think that the euro is going to trade down to 106 as a result. I don't disagree. And matter of fact, if you think that's as low as it's going to go, my opinion would be the euro is trading down to parity, if not lower. Okay, so if you have long euro exposure like I do, those are the things that you got to think about. If Macron loses, all right, is that I'm probably going to be, not only am I going to be selling the euro, but I'll be reversing that trade, looking to short and looking for a much lower euro price in the coming weeks and maybe even months ahead. So that's how big of an impact this weekend is to the currency market, not just the currency market. This is going to be to every market, because if you think about like the Eurozone from how big the economy is globally to other global economies, it's huge. And so the impact will be felt across the board. And like I said, in today's modern society, global society, you cannot rule out Le Pen. You just can't. All right. Now, take a look at how the euro has acted against other crosses, because this is something that we should be paying attention to. You can see the euro yen obviously is rallied, but everything's rallied against the yen. So it's not just a euro story. It's euro against everything. But look at the euro sterling. We had a big rally off the lows. Most people know that I was long the euro sterling. I actually took that profit off the table on Friday. Because I actually had to compensate for some losses that I took in other trades. So, it's kind of trading my P&L versus trading the actual trade. But you guys know that I was long this. And I'm, long some of these euro crosses too. You can see the euro Aussie has rallied substantially. It has broken out above the 38% retracement. I was anticipating that. I was also anticipating a break higher in the euro Kiwi. We had broken that resistance. So, I've been able to capitalize on a lot of these euro crosses moving higher, even though I was, net long some euro dollars. But look at the euro Canadian. This was my chart of the day actually on Thursday, I believe. So if you guys don't know where to find the chart of the day, you can just go to ForexAnalytix.com. It's free, the blog, and you can see here's the euro Canadian chart of the day. And I was citing this this descending wedge and that we were going to rally. Well, that actually took place on Friday. We broke above the 137 level. We really cracked a lot of key resistance on Friday. But whether we can capitalize on these moves or not has more to do with the election at this point in time, right? But an election win from Macron would just give us a tailwind and a move higher in the euro. across the board. Right now, one of the other things, or a couple of the other things I needed to discuss, is the Aussie. The Aussie has come under significant pressure, and if you take the low at 70 cents and to the high here, we are at the 618 retracement. We closed right at the 618 retracement on Friday. Now, we also closed below the 200-day moving average, which is a bearish event for the Aussie, but given where we're at from a Fibonacci standpoint, I wouldn't necessarily be chasing the Aussie lower. But I will reiterate, the markets will move on the French elections this weekend. All right. So remember, Le Pen, bad for the Eurozone, probably bad for the Eurozone structure as a whole. Macron win will keep molding the Eurozone into what most people hope to become a more of a union, if you will. All right, so Aussie, very important support at the 72. Let's just call it 72 and a quarter. Remember, we have inflation data Tuesday night in the U.S. It would be Wednesday morning in Australia. We have GDP data and inflation data coming out of the U.S. and I gotta point out that the dollar index continues to break higher. All right, and this is obviously a big risk for the dollar. We continue to break out. We closed above this channel, and as the daily listeners of the F.A.C.E webinar, if you listen to the F.A.C.E webinar every day, it's our free webinar, then you'll know that a move back below 99.70 or 99.40, which would actually be below this breakout point, that would be a bearish reversal for the dollar index. But as of right now, we are above 100 and we are above that channel resistance, and that puts the risk in, and let me go over to the weekly chart here, for this weekly trend line to come into play, which comes in around 102.50. All right, now if that breaks, that would be a very, very bullish event for the dollar, and that would happen on a Macron loss on Sunday. One of the other things, the last thing I'm going to leave you with today, like I said, excuse my tone, excuse me, just how I'm feeling, but I want to note that we are still, and I'm going to remove this because this is from last weekend, if you guys remember, we're still in this long-term head and shoulder pattern, right? We are getting close to that neckline, or what people are going to view as a neckline. Let's go over to a 4-hour chart, just kind of give us an intraday view of what's happening with the S&P. We closed below the 618 retracement. If you guys are harmonic type of traders, then you could be looking at something like this, where we might get a Gartley setup. Okay, if we have a Macron win, then you're going to see relief from the equity markets. Actually, let me take this back. You're going to see relief from the equity markets, and that's going to be a really bullish setup going into next week. Think about that. We get it's a kind of a binary event for global equities, just in general. Macron win, France not fragmented, if you will. The markets are going to rally on that relief rally. Does that mean that the S&P is going to all-time highs? Probably not. But does it mean that we get supported here on a Gartley pattern? Look, this is a 78% retracement of this entire move. Basically 161% extension. You can say it's it's an overshoot, but doesn't really matter, right? This would give us the basis for a move back to 4,400, but a Macron loss, and we will be really staring in the face of that longer term head and shoulder pattern that might actually break the neckline going into next week. Again, a lot rides on this weekend. I don't want to undersell the importance of this weekend's event. That is why I'm doing this video with you today. This week ahead video. I could have very easily given this video over to one of my other teammates and said, hey, could you guys handle this? You guys or gals handle this? I appreciate it. but I didn't. I'm here with you because of the importance of what's happening this weekend. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the week ahead video. I hope your weekend is great, and I hope you're being safe and loving each other, because just remember, life is precious, and we should take in every moment of it and be good to each other. All right, guys and gals, my name is Morrow. I'll catch you on the morning edge, or excuse me, the F.A.C.E webinar on Monday morning. Talk to you then. Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.